On the next episode of Searchers, we're looking for Murderingtown.
Now, the Murderingtown itself was a Delaware town.
There's Ferris everywhere.
Oh, wait.
On Searchers, we combine myth and history to find the truth.
We are here today right along the Connoquenessing Creek, just north of Evans City, where the supposed site of Murderingtown was.
Now, the Murderingtown itself was a Delaware town, and it probably was located right on that knoll up there. And it's very nicely situated here, in keeping with known Delaware practices where they located their towns when possible, because it's covered by hills on the east, but most importantly by this arcing area of mountains or hills behind us. So it was well protected from the weather year-round.
And this creek is Connoquenessing Creek, and it was the outflow for the proglacial lakes that were east of here during the glacial period. When the ice came down, it blocked Slippery Rock Creek and it formed what we call Lake Edmund, which was a very large lake, and a smaller lake was formed when that same glacier also dammed Muddy Creek, and that was called Lake Watts. Together they joined, one flowed into the other, and they called that Lake Arthur. Lake Edmund overflowed into Lake Arthur. Lake Arthur flowed into Connoquenessing Creek. Now, because of the basins, there wasn't a lot of debris or sediment. It was mostly water. But this was a very significant river during the glacial period. That ended about 20,000 years ago. So for the project we're looking at here, George Washington and Murderingtown, it looked back then in the 18th century much as it looks today.
When Washington came through in 1753 on his mission to take the British summons to the French up at Fort Le Boeuf, to the commandant there, St. Pierre, it turned out, they encamped here on their way out. It was really their only stop before they left this area and went on up to Franklin after they had left Logstown. So Washington doesn't even mention it in his journal on the northbound journey, but he does mention it on the southbound journey. This same location where we're standing here, in particular on this lower level near the creek itself, is where Thomas Hutchinson and also Colonel Henry Bouquet encamped in the early 60s, 1760s, on their way up to garrison the French forts, former French forts at Franklin, as we now know it, or Venango as it was known then, and then Fort Le Boeuf, where Washington had actually met the commandant and delivered his summons for the French departure from the area. And of course also up at Prescott, and the idea was to take over Fort Niagara and all other French forts, because it was well known that the French planned to come down with larger numbers of Indian allies to retake the forks of the Ohio that they had just lost under the Forbes campaign, that Washington, of course, also, and many others also participated in. So that's kind of the story here.
Back in the fall of 2017, we came in, we had about 7 guys. We went up and dug these circular test pits. They're about 2 feet in diameter, down into what we call the B horizon, which is the subsoil, usually a yellow looking soil around here. And we screened everything looking for any artifacts from Murderingtown. There was an old camp down here, and one of the only things we found was a silver dime from the 1950s, but we didn't find anything that suggests it was from Murderingtown, unfortunately. We're out here today using metal detector try to find some artifacts associated with it. Being a Indian town, Indian village, you know, small little hamlet during the 18th century, they would have had trade goods. You know, definitely they would have had copper, maybe little tinkles or tangles. You know, they put the hair and stuff in. There would have been other trade goods. There could be buckets, anything like that, metal objects.
You know, this is actually the origin of searchers.
It is. You know, Carl been looking to do a metal detector survey up there for almost 10 years or better. Yeah. And he asked me and said, hey, do you know anybody who might be able to do this? And I said, I know somebody's got a detector.
Yeah, and then Clay said he'd like to film it for the Historical Society. So here we are.
Several episodes later.
Yeah, been fun.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Dig a lot of them.
What was that?
Pop top. You know, I couldn't believe how many pop tops we actually found around there.
Mm-hmm. Did you pick it up after you threw it away?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Didn't realize how big he was going to dig that hole.
It was the size of a small child.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wow. And your shovel. Weedy. Your eyes are a little younger than mine.
Oh, okay, let's see.
You got your glasses right there.
Yeah, I got one. A monocle.
Oh, well. It's at 36 or 46?
46.
46.
Right after the war.
Yep.
Not bad.
Cool.
Well, it's not 1746. About 200 years too late.
Beats a sharp stick in the eye.
You know, that was my first Wheatie.
But it was another first, too.
Yeah, it's my first coin.
See, that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
This will go to show you the accuracy and how sensitive these machines are. If you look at this, that is a fragment of a bullet. You know, that is something amazing about that AT Gold. It finds such small targets and a lot of times really deep small targets.
Yeah, you know, it's nice that you're starting out with a Garrett AT Gold. And here's me walking around with a bounty hunter. Mine finds targets too. It finds everything. It finds pop tops, it finds nails, it finds old shoe leather, it's just everything.
Yeah, but you've upgraded twice since then.
Well, yeah, this is just a little bit addictive.
Because I got the... Okay, I got something interesting here. pipe caller. I got something good here. This sounds like copper. Well, there's the copper. Levi's 501. Rivet from Blue Jeans. Coin. Nope. I thought it was. Oh, that's right there. It's not it. Get that off, really? Yeah, that's what it's at. It's like they're disappearing.
I just like to see a big old round ball come popping out.
It's in there.
It's a casing. No, it's another bullet. There's the back end of it, probably about well, maybe 30 cal. See it? Cased. Jacketed, I mean, it's probably a jacketed bullet. My pinpointer died.
Is this protected before? Do we know? What you got, Bubba?
Don't know.
It's in there.
You know, looking back on this, we had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
But when I first watched this, I couldn't tell us apart.
I know we had the same pants,
Same shirts,
same shoes.
and we're both fat.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Okay.
Do they sometimes just disappear?
It's right there. It's right in here.
Oh wait.
There's too many diggers.
Oh, it's a Civil War bullet.
Oh shit, that really is.
Oh! Honest to God, that's a mini ball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that thing.
sweet.
Sweet!
You know, my pinpointer died.
Mm-hmm. How's it feel to be one of the common people?
Well, you know, I did find it, and it's only common people that say mini. It's actually pronounced minier.
Mini, minier, tomato, tomato, whatever.
It's fired too.
Oh, yeah. Now, the only thing is, though, too...
That's 58.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know.
Which puts it in an Enfield.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess I'm at the top of the leaderboard now on that one.
Yeah, I think that beats my penny.
You know, that was about the only interesting find we had that day.
Yeah, it really was. And we hit that place really hard, covered a lot of ground, and I don't think we were on the right site.
No, you know, actually a little further research and talking to Carl, it appears that it's on the other side of the road.
Well, given the lay of the land, I think that makes more sense. It would be a little bit more conducive to building a village, especially one of that size.
Yeah, when we were there, you know, looking at it, it just didn't seem big enough. But when you look at the other side, it's right on the floodplain, right on the river there. It's the perfect site.
I agree. And I think now that we've started this, looking for Murderingtown, we need to stick with this. We need to find that. I know I really want to go back there and look some more.
You know, in archaeology, you want to find artifacts.
Right.
But it's just as important we don't find things because we know where it's not at.
That's right. We've narrowed it down now. So we need to get back up there and do some more looking.
And find Murderingtown.
Absolutely.